Right now at 6, an 18-year-old suffers serious injuries after crashing into a guardrail in Cherokee County.
We have numerous severe thunderstorm warnings across the area with this line of storms pushing in. We'll have the latest coming up.
Plus, construction plans for the Highway 69 corridor in Crawford County come together.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. At 6 a.m., I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday. It's April the 2nd. We talked about this severe threat that we'd be looking at this morning, and it is unfolding just about the way that we thought it was going to. We have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings. We have tornado watches in place. We're going to take a look at what's going on right now. Skywatch Storm Tracker is very busy across the area. You can see we've got a lot of lightning with these storms. Very electrical. Lightning, of course, itself is dangerous, but then we have numerous severe thunderstorm warnings, and we have tornado watches, the latest of which run through noon today. And really, by about noon, this line of storms truly will be on its way out of our immediate area. So that is at least some good news to that. But we've got to get through this line of storms first out there this morning. So here's a look at those current warnings. We've got Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee counties. Okay, new update coming in for that line right back behind those. So we're going to take a quick look, see what the latest is. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning continuing through 6:45 for Wilson, Labette, Neosho, Montgomery, and eastern Allen counties. These are moving east at 25 and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and the threat for quarter-size hail is what we've got there. Now the ones for Bourbon, Crawford counties, and leading into Lynn, similar situation. We've got 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail with these, and they run all of them until 6:45. The other warnings that we do want to keep an eye on, you see that orange color down across parts of northeastern Oklahoma. That's where we briefly had a confirmed tornado in Osage County. No active tornado warning with this, but that orange color is indicating the possibility of a spin-up tornado within that entire line. And that warning continues until 6:30 this morning. So here's a look at radar, what we've got across the region. And as Doug mentioned earlier, we have another line that's developing ahead of the main line, and lightning is starting to pick up with this as well. And speaking of that lightning, just want to take a quick look here. I mean, just take a look around Caney, Coffeyville area. Just take a look at the volume of lightning in that one area. That's 104 lightning strikes just there. So again, the lightning just as dangerous as these storms could potentially be as they continue to push off to the east this morning. It will take a little bit for them to get through our entire area, but they are proceeding through, and again, they're moving at a fairly good clip. We also have wind advisories again in place out there for a good portion of the area, and that's for what we've already seen, which is those 55-mile-an-hour wind gusts. As a result, we do have a power outage again on the south side of Joplin, still on the MoDOT camera showing that the power is out down there. The MoDOT camera 32nd and range line looking to the south, it's still completely dark. So this is south range line, south of 32nd and west of range line where this outage is this morning. Again, our severe threat, this is again pushing into the late morning hours as this line continues to sweep through off to our east. Again, all those hazards are possible. It's what we've been seeing this morning. On to the future track. Again, by noon, we should be done. Once you get behind these storms, that's it. You're done. You're clear. We're partly cloudy, still breezy, though. Those winds could still be gusting upwards of 40 to 45 miles an hour even after the storms. Quick look at those temperatures. 73 in Joplin, 72 in Pittsburgh. We're in the low 70s at 6 o'clock in the morning on April 2nd. Very warm. Take a look at that temperature map, though. You can see where that cold front is. We've dropped 62 in Yates Center now, 67 Sedan. We've got, again, the rest of us still low to mid 70s out there. So, again, these storms, unfortunately, are going to be pushing through at the worst possible time for folks heading out for their morning commute to get to work. Kids getting on the school bus. Make sure that you're monitoring school district pages for any possible delays in school bus arrivals or school starting itself. School districts, again, if you're ahead of this line, you need to be watching this very closely. You need to make sure that you are playing the safe play here in terms of getting kids to school this morning. Again, highs low mid 70s. Those storms coming to an end as we get past noon. Of course, if we do get any new warnings, watches, anything else like that, we will certainly pop back in. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy is with us here this morning as well. We'll continue to actually, if you don't mind, new information just popped up. Doug alluded to this possibility earlier, and I do want to touch on this very quickly. The warning for Bourbon and Crawford County has been updated. It is now that orange highlight, so that's indicating that tornado possible tag. So what we do want to do is we just want to take a look at this. So we've got 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail, storms moving northeast at 40, and they are indicating that there is at least some kind of rotation possible within these storms. Now, we don't have a tornado warning. I want to emphasize that. But we do have that tornado possible tag for these storms into Bourbon and Crawford County this morning. So again, school districts, I do want to emphasize this. Those of you ahead of this line, you've got to play it safe this morning. You need to keep a very close eye on this because as it rolls east, we're talking about times that kids are going to be getting on the bus. So do be cautious out there. Make sure you're taking appropriate precautions. Stay right here with KOAM. We're going to continue to monitor these storms, keep you updated through the morning. For now, Samantha's got some election information out of Oklahoma this morning.
Thanks, Chris. Voters in Oklahoma headed to the polls yesterday to cast their ballots on a variety of issues with local impact. One of those races was between Destiny Stanley and Terry Daniels for Quapaw Town Clerk and Treasurer. Terry Daniels has won that contest. Also on the ballot yesterday was the race for Commerce Marshal between Ernie Shelby and Michael Sweeten. Michael Sweeten has won that contest. Amber Knoll and Henry Goforth are both vying for the position of Veneta City Clerk. Amber Knoll has won that contest. There were also some propositions on the ballot yesterday. A proposal in J raised the issue of street and road improvements. That measure has passed. And a proposition around the Ketchum Public Schools would mean funds for building projects. That measure has also passed. If you ever need to find voting information for your area, just scan this QR code. It'll take you to the election resources on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. You'll also be able to find all sorts of election info, including polling places and schedules. You can even check to see if you're registered to vote. An 18-year-old driver suffered serious injuries after crashing into a guardrail Monday morning. Baxter Springs Fire and Galena Fire were alerted Monday morning to a vehicle crashing south of the Rainbow Bridge where a car was impaled by a guardrail. The guardrail had gone through the front windshield and out the back. Authorities tell us the female driver was transported to a Joplin hospital with serious injuries. Construction plans for the Highway 69 corridor in Crawford County are forming. KDOT held a series of meetings a little over a month ago to get public input on the future of Highway 69. Since those meetings, KDOT has kept the conversation going by accepting feedback on a website page through March 12th. KDOT has already started some aspects of construction, including a pavement marking project, and progress at the intersection at Centennial should start in about 2 months. 3 more intersection projects are scheduled to begin next year. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Hollywood is mourning the loss of Batman Forever star Val Kilmer, who has died at the age of 65. Plus, President Trump is set to announce new tariffs today. We'll see what it means for the economy. And Chris Warner and Doug Hetty returns with another look at your forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, meteorologist Doug Hetty. Want to keep you guys updated on severe weather. We do have severe thunderstorm warning, so we're looking Bourbon, Crawford County. The reason they are orange is because it has a tornado tag with it, meaning severe thunderstorm warning, may be picking up some mid-level rotation. Just want to warn you guys that we are watching these in case if something would try to rotate. Severe thunderstorm warnings, Allen, Neosho, Lebec County, and then into Wilson, and also Montgomery County, and then also that same thing, that tornado tag, once you get into Craig, Nowata, and also Washington County in northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Let's look at this line, very intense line, very electric line, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, individual cells moving rapidly off toward the north and to the east at a pretty good clip at about 50 to 60 miles per hour, but the line itself is just kind of inching its way east at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Over the past 35 minutes or so, we've had this additional line ahead of the main line, and why this is important is because it's not just a linear line. We're getting some individual cells trying to pop up, and that gives us a little better chance to see some rotating cells. But you can see this front line now right along the Missouri state line and then pushing into southwestern Missouri. Let's take a little bit of a tour. So very intense storms, severe thunderstorm warnings. This guy just west of Nevada is starting to strengthen just a bit. This extends south to Girard, where you start to see the lightning picking up. Those are the areas that we really want to see or watch if these storms will strengthen even more. Extending back towards Chanute, Erie, so next in line, Nevada, Lamar, you still got 30 or 40 minutes. Pittsburgh, I'm pretty much guaranteeing you are seeing a ton of lightning out there. Cherokee County still looking pretty good. These storms pick right back up in Lebec County, so right on the doorstep of Oswego, Parsons. Very intense storm coming out of Montgomery County. Here's Independence, here's Coffeyville. Very intense lightning. All these storms are producing winds 60 to 65 in quarter-size hail. So that's what is warranting the severe thunderstorm warnings. But again, we want to watch these because they will have the potential to spin a little bit. And where we usually watch these is, if you look just to the west of Nowata, you see this little gap in here south of Bartlesville. Sometimes those are the areas that like to try to spin up. So these little areas here, or this little notch down here. So we just want to watch those as we go through the morning hours as these continue to race east. A little bit more intense just to the north of Tulsa, which will push into northeastern parts of Oklahoma. But the environment all across southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas is very unstable. So these severe storms will continue as we go through the next few hours. I'm going to toss it back over to Chris.
Yeah, just a quick reminder as well, again, not associated with these storms directly, but we do have that power outage. This is impacting range line south of 32nd and off to the west of range line as well. So traffic lights, it looks like at 36th and range line are still out. It is very dark down there. A lot of traffic out there right now as well. So just make sure you're prepared for that. And again, I just want to go ahead and put that out there again. So there's that dark spot. You can see it's been like that now for a couple hours. I know utility crews have been on scene working on this. And that's just from those gusty winds, 50, 55 miles an hour across the region. That's why we have those wind advisories. And again, just imploring school districts ahead of this line. We're getting close to putting kids on buses. Just make sure you're watching this all very closely. This is a very intense, been potentially dangerous line of thunderstorms rolling through. We're going to take a moment and send things over to Samantha.
Topping Nation Watch this morning, Hollywood is mourning the loss of actor Val Kilmer. In a statement to the New York Times, his daughter says Kilmer died Tuesday. She says the cause of death was pneumonia. He began his film career in the 1984 comedy Top Secret, but his breakout role was in 1986's Top Gun. Kilmer was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2014, but later recovered. Val Kilmer was 65 years old. We have learned that President Donald Trump will be joined by auto and steel workers as well as top Republicans from Congress as he announces his reciprocal tariffs at the White House later today. The tariffs are set to go into effect as soon as they are announced, though economists say it may take a while before they impact everyday life. The president has said the move will be a boon for the U.S. economy and workers, but many Americans say they're worried they could bring higher prices. Jared Hill has more from New York.
After weeks of promise,
we have Liberation Day, as you know, on April 2nd.
This afternoon, President Donald Trump is set to unveil the specifics of his reciprocal tariffs.
The lack of reciprocity contributes to our large and persistent annual trade deficit.
The Trump administration promises the import taxes will bring in billions of dollars and bring back manufacturing. So far, the tariff threat has ushered in new economic uncertainty, though economist Jeffrey Roach says broader effects may not be felt right away.
You think about the economy, like a big cruise ship. You can't turn on a dime, and it'll take a little bit of time for things to shake through.
Tomorrow, the U.S. will also start collecting new 25% tariffs on foreign vehicles and auto parts. Roy Rubenfeld says that pushed him to buy a new car 2 weeks ago.
We may have saved $10,000 on the car. We don't know.
The pause on the president's 25% tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico is also set to expire this week. They and other countries are threatening to hit back. Professor Lawrence White of NYU's Stern School of Business.
Already we're seeing it, retaliation by other countries which is going to make it harder for American firms to sell their goods and services abroad.
Senate Democrats and a few Republicans are pushing a bill to undo Trump's tariffs against Canada. Overnight, President Trump slammed their efforts on social media, threatening not to sign the legislation if it reaches his desk. Jared Hill, CBS News.
That's a look at some of today's top national stories. We'll be right back after this.
All right, guys, meteorologist Doug Heady want to keep you guys updated on severe thunderstorms that are working through the region. First off, we have a tornado watch in effect till noon. This is extended all the way east of Springfield. Now, once these storms work through, your severe threat is done for the morning hours, but you can see we have numerous warnings lighting up the radar. We have severe thunderstorm warnings. This is Bourbon and Crawford County. The reason it is orange, it has a tornado tag on it, meaning some of these storms are producing small little spin ups. So just to be aware that tornado potential is a little bit higher in the counties that are orange. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue Atlanta, Neosho, Labette, back into Montgomery County, and then we have that tornado tag again once you get down into Craig County and also Nowata County in northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Look at this line plowing off toward the east. Individual cells moving 40 to 50 miles per hour northeast, but the general line is pushing east at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. Very electric storms, a lot of lightning. Where you see more lightning, that's where the more intense part of the storm is, most likely hail core. Most of these in general are producing quarter-size hail, which is 1-inch size hail, and we're getting winds 60 upwards to about 70 miles per hour. But you can see these storms now pushing right along that Kansas and Missouri state line. So Pittsburgh, you can see these are just to your west. So Pittsburgh, things are going to start to light up here pretty quick. You can hear already a little bit of thunder out there. And then Joplin, still probably 45 minutes to an hour away, much of the same in Miami, Grand Lake. Neosho down toward Anderson, Pineville, you guys still have at least an hour. Let's go ahead and take a quick tour. But you can see these storms really from getting into Nevada back toward Fort Scott, where you see these darker reds here. So back toward Bronson, that's where the storm is a little bit more intense. Picking up in Crawford County from Girard and then back toward Parsons, just to the west of Oswego. Things starting to intensify just a bit. A lot of lightning back down through Coffeyville, and then we go through northeastern Oklahoma. These guys a little bit more intense. So here's Bartlesville pushing into Nowata County. So as these work closer into Labette and Craig County, we definitely want to keep our eyes on those, because this is a linear line, but it's got a lot of little notches on it. So if I zoom out there, where you see these little notches, and then up through here, notches, those are the areas that have potential to produce a little bit of rotation. All right, I'm going to throw it over to Chris Warner.
Yeah, so we're going to kind of get you through the rest of your afternoon as well. So as Doug mentioned, once you're behind this line, your severe threat is done. It's just a matter of getting behind this line. And even after the storms pass, you can see we've got wind advisories, and that is because ahead of this line, we've already seen winds gusting 50, 55 miles an hour. And because of that, we still have that power outage in a small portion of the south side of Joplin, and that is impacting range line south of 32nd Street, and then points west of range line as well. So we want to keep an eye on that this morning. And future track, by noon, we should be just about done with these showers and storms out there. We're going to go partly cloudy, still breezy though. Those southwest winds could still be gusting 40, 45 miles an hour. Overnight, clouds increase and a few showers to start our day Thursday. We'll start to see some thunderstorm chances out there as well. We could see a strong storm or two south of I-44, but the good news is at least we are not looking at what we're seeing this morning with these storms. We're talking maybe some small hail, perhaps some gusty winds. And we'll have rain chances continuing through Thursday evening. They dry up a little bit overnight, and then we see another round of showers and thunderstorms as we head into our Friday as well, and we'll be dealing with this rain all the way through at least Sunday morning across the area. So some much needed rain on the way, because this line, with how fast it's moving, not going to get much out of it this morning. We're going to, of course, continue to monitor these storms. I know this is a little different for the KOAM Morning News. We don't usually get something like this early, but Doug Heady and I are here. We'll continue to keep you updated on these storms as we have this line put push through the area. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. All right, welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Again, we have tornado watches across the area. The latest of these runs through noon. We have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings out there. We're going to, of course, keep you updated on these storms as they continue to roll through the area. Once again, if you're behind this line, your severe threat is done. If you're ahead of this line, obviously, still need to watch these very closely. That tornado risk is still there with this line of storms. The other thing, as I've mentioned this morning, especially east of this line, east of 69, guys, we're getting on to the time of putting kids on buses. We got folks heading out to start their day at work. School districts, you need to very closely be monitoring these storms as they continue to roll off to the east. This is a very intense line of storms. This is a potentially dangerous line of storms. So make sure that you're monitoring this and make sure, of course, you're communicating with parents. We just don't want to have anybody out in places they don't need to be as this line rolls through this morning. We also have, again, wind advisories for a good portion of the area because already ahead of this line, we've had winds gusting 50, 55 miles an hour. It's part of why we have a power outage on the south side of Joplin. MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line, still dark down there, but I do see what looks like some utility crews out there. It looks like they are trying to solve this problem, but power's been out down there for a little while. Once we get to about noon, our thunderstorm threat is done for today. We'll have partly cloudy skies, still fairly warm out there, low to mid 70s. As we go into the overnight hours, clouds thickening up, have a few showers start our Thursday, thunderstorms possible, and then maybe even along and south of I-44 could get a strong storm or two with some small hail or gusty winds. And as you see, now we're going to get into a point of reaching the more meaningful rainfall. The rain we're going to get this morning isn't going to add up to too much because of how quickly this line is moving. But as we go into tomorrow and into Friday, more showers, more thunderstorms, and again, more meaningful rainfall chances out there. There's that MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line. You can see how dark it is, and it should not be that dark. We're looking at the upper 60s to start our day, going about 70 by 11. Obviously, thunderstorms, depending, if you're behind the line, you're okay. Ahead of it, these thunderstorms continuing. Once we get past them, partly cloudy, highs low mid 70s, but those winds could still be very gusty even behind the storms, pushing 40, 45 miles an hour out of the southwest. Winds will become light and variable tonight, so we'll get a brief break there. Clouds, as I mentioned, increasing and a little cooler. So we go back into the upper 40s, low 50s. Tomorrow, upper 50s, maybe some low 60s, and we'll have east winds occasionally gusting upwards of about 25 miles an hour out there. We'll have the scattered storms, again, showers rolling through at least Sunday morning, and then again, we'll start to warm up next week. We have additional shower chances by next Wednesday, and do want to take one moment, because again, this is an evolving situation. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning into northeastern Oklahoma. So we're going to load this up for you real quick here and show you what we're looking at. So this is for Craig, Rogers, of course, Osage, Western Ottawa, Creek County, Mays, Washington, Newada, Wagner, and Tulsa counties. So some of these not immediately in our area. You can see it flashing there. The good news is the orange color has gone away from it. That orange, of course, indicating tornado possible. And that's gone away with this new update. So we're looking at 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. And of course, this is I-44 as well, between mile markers 216 and 294. So here's a look at that radar again with that line of storms as it continues to roll through. As Doug has mentioned, though, we've got to watch for those notches that start to form in these. That's where we could get those spin-ups. So our tornado threat is not done yet this morning. Again, that's why we have these tornado watches. We'll continue to keep you updated here and bring you the latest on any new watches, warnings as they roll in. Now we're going to send it over to Sam with Health Watch.
Topping Health Watch this morning, Mpox has the potential to become a major global health threat. Researchers from the University of Surrey say the disease, once referred to as monkeypox, is traditionally spread from animals to humans, but is now showing clear signs of human-to-human transmission. Doctors say we need to invest in more testing and treatments. There are significant racial disparities in drug overdose deaths in the U.S. A study by Columbia University found black men and women have sharply higher overdose mortality rates compared to white men and women. Researchers say more needs to be done to look into the social, economic, and physical reasons for inequalities. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Continue to rise in Oklahoma and Kansas.
And we have a very intense line of strong to severe thunderstorms rolling through the area this morning. We'll have the latest on that coming up.
Plus, students at a Joplin Elementary School come together to celebrate the Teacher of the Year.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:34. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday. It's April the 2nd. We talked about the severe threat yesterday all day, and we now have it rolling through the area, and we have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings. We've had at least the possibility of tornadoes out there. Thankfully, none in our immediate area, but it still is something we are going to continue to watch very closely. Let's take a quick look at what we have right now. Here's the Skywatch Storm Tracker, and you can see this very intense line of storms stretching. Again, the whole line honestly stretches from northeastern Missouri down into parts of Texas. This is a very, very big line of severe thunderstorms out there. Continuing to roll through our area, we have tornado watches, the latest of which run until noon today. You can see the number of severe thunderstorm warnings we have, and then those severe thunderstorm warnings, Bourbon and Crawford County in Kansas, and then Bates County in Missouri. They're orange highlighted because that means there's a tornado possible. So there's not a tornado warning or not a confirmed tornado, of course, either with these storms, but that orange means they are showing some spin. It is a possibility, and that's going to be what we face through the morning, is these storms will have that possibility to produce a spin-up tornado. We did have one in Osage County earlier. It stayed out of our immediate area, but again, it's just a sign that these storms are intense, and as I've been discussing all morning, school districts, I just want to throw this out here again, and parents. You've got to watch this very closely if you're ahead of this line, because we are closing in on bus pickups. We are closing in on folks leaving for the day, and this is a very intense and potentially dangerous line of thunderstorms moving through the area. And so you've got to take it very seriously as we continue to push through, because like I said, we have that tornado threat possible out there. We're going to switch it over to Doug Heddy real quick. He's going to break down these storms, take us on a tour of what we're looking at right now across the area. Doug.
Yeah, these storms are a little bit more disorganized, the ones right along the Kansas-Missouri state line, but we have this cluster pushing out of southeastern Kansas, so this may beef things up a little bit. Here in about 2 hours, these may start to weaken once they get over towards Springfield, but I think they're going to stay pretty beefy as they push through the region. Plus, this cluster that we have coming out of northeastern Oklahoma, these are a little bit stronger, so that's why severe thunderstorm warnings have now extended east through Craig County into Ottawa County, so Miami, Commerce, you guys are on deck here in about the next 20 to 30 minutes. In fact, let's zoom in just a bit. Intense cells from Nevada, not severe, still holding on to a severe thunderstorm warning due to the cluster just north of Fort Scott, just west of Fort Scott. Let's go a little bit farther toward the south, so into Crawford County, and then now working into Cherokee County. So Columbus, you guys are on deck. You can see from Pittsburgh, Girard, storms picking up, the lightning really picking up just south of Parsons, between Parsons and Oswego, and then also back toward Coffeyville. And because this isn't just a straight line of storms, we get these little notches in here, and those are the ones that have the potential to at least produce a little bit of spin up action. Also very intense severe storms working through Newada County, getting into Craig County, so Veneta, Miami, Commerce, all on deck. These are still good 45 minutes, maybe an hour out of the metro itself, but Joplin proper, you guys will really get going here as we go through the next hour or so. Let's go through time. Here's 7 a.m. Storms kind of lining up along that I-44 corridor, and again, through this whole time, we can see little bitty spin-ups across the region, so we want to keep our eyes on that as we go through the rest of the morning hours. All right, Chris, I'm going to toss it back to you because I lost my screen.
Oh, well, that's all right. That happens sometimes out there. So, again, we are continuing to track these storms. Any new warnings that pop up, we will certainly break in and let you know right away. For now, though, we do have Samantha Walker, who's got the latest on our morning headlines. Samantha.
Thanks, Chris. The measles outbreak is continuing to grow and is affecting the 4 states, with 10 cases of measles in Oklahoma, 23 in Kansas, and nearly 500 nationwide. Concerns of the disease spreading is close to home. The Cherokee County Health Department says the best way to combat this disease is to get vaccinated. A teacher at Cecil Floyd Elementary in Joplin got a surprise from staff and students alike yesterday. Shannon Cooper was just named Joplin School's Teacher of the Year. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Trader Joe's Hot Honey Mustard dressing is being recalled due to the label not including certain allergy warnings. And we're tracking thunderstorms for today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner and Doug Hetty in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, major car makers are reporting record sales ahead of President Donald Trump's 25% tariffs on foreign cars and auto parts. These tariffs are set to kick in this week. Hyundai says it sold more than 87,000 units in March, a 13% jump, while Ford says its sales jumped 19% last month. Trader Joe's is recalling bottles of its Hot Honey Mustard dressing with the specific use-by date of May 27, 2025. According to a post by the Food and Drug Administration, the label does not include warnings that the product may include the allergens peanuts, soy, sesame, or wheat. The dressing was distributed in 17 states and the District of Columbia. No customer complaints have been reported. Consumers can return the recall bottles to Trader Joe's locations for a refund. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we again are continuing to track severe thunderstorms rolling through the area this morning. So here's what we've got right now. New severe thunderstorm warnings, Cherokee County, and then into western Barton and northwestern Jasper County until 7:30 this morning. This is for 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail. We still have the severe thunderstorm warnings, Bourbon and Crawford counties as well through about the next 3 minutes. Keeping an eye on that as well. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue to extend back into Labette and Montgomery counties and then down into western Ottawa County and then Craig and Newata counties. And then this new update, guys, this is what we've been talking about all morning. Again, this is not in our area, and you saw that just change. There is a weak spin up, but that dark red, there is a radar confirmed tornado west of Owasso, so to the northeast of Tulsa out there. This is what we're talking about how quickly this situation can change. And how quickly we could see these spin ups, which is again why we can't say it enough. If you are east of this line, you've got to play it safe. You've got to be watching this very closely because this is a dangerous situation. We could very easily get a brief spin up. And again, this is the second one now in northeastern Oklahoma. Again, each have been outside of our immediate area, but this is the kind of intensity that we're dealing with. This is why we have the tornado watches in place, and this is why we have been telling you since yesterday, really, that you've got to watch this very closely. This threat continues, and then it will eventually, believe it or not, make its way out of here by about noon. But between now and then, if you're east of this line, between now and noon, your severe threat is not done. We still have intense thunderstorms out there. We have severe thunderstorms out there. They all could potentially have the capability of producing brief spin-up tornadoes. Again, we also, unfortunately, have wind advisories across the area as well. Ahead of the line, we've had winds gusting 50, 55 miles an hour, and as mentioned, there's still that power outage. A MoDOT camera, 32nd and Range Line, still dark south of 32nd Street there on Range Line, and that's just from the winds ahead of this. We'll have gusty winds behind these storms as well as we head through the day. And they'll still be gusting out of the southwest 40, 45 miles an hour. Once we get to noon, though, like I said, there's the future track. You can see we start to clear out. We're partly cloudy, warm, breezy, low to mid-70s. We do have some additional rain chances and thunderstorm chances over the next few days. We're going to go over those with you here in just a few minutes. We're also, Samantha, is going to probably celebrate those birthdays and anniversaries with you coming up next. But first, here's what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Gail King, coming right up on CBS Mornings to mark Autism Awareness Month. We're going to be joined by three mothers who are sharing their journey raising sons with autism and the bond they have formed over this experience. That's coming right up on CBS Mornings.
Well, it's my favorite part of the morning. We're celebrating some birthdays and anniversaries today. We're starting off with Taylin Midget. She's celebrating birthday number 8 out of Columbus, Kansas. Happy birthday, Taylin. Then in Pittsburgh, Kansas, we got a twin birthday. Zyler and Xander White are both turning 8 years old. Happy birthday to them. In Fort Scott, Kansas, Avery Hollum is turning number 11. Happy birthday, Avery. And then in Columbus, Kansas, Mr. Jeff Clark is celebrating birthday number 56. Happy birthday from your family and church family. Then Lawrence Burke is turning number 68 out of Joplin, Missouri. And then John and Joyce Bates out of Arma, Kansas are celebrating an anniversary. Happy anniversary. Now, if you want us to be able to help us celebrate your birthday, we can do that. Go ahead and submit those birthdays or anniversaries, either one, to birthdays@komnewsnow.com. You can see that email on your screen. And now I'm going to send it back over to Doug Heddy in the Skywatch Weather Center for a look at our weather.
All right, guys, still tracking severe weather across the region. Of course, we have our tornado watch in effect. I'm moving a little bit here. Tornado watch in effect in southwestern Missouri, northwestern parts of Arkansas. Severe thunderstorm warnings, Crawford, Cherokee, Jasper, Barton. The reason they are orange again is because we are getting some small little spin up. So when you see this orange, it just says, hey, severe thunderstorm warning, and we could have a spin up. In the yellow, these are all severe thunderstorm warnings from Labette, Ottawa, Craig, Nowata, Washington. We do have a tornado warning just to the northeast of Tulsa. Look at this line continuing to push off toward the east. The individual cells are moving northeast at a pretty good clip, 40 to 50 miles per hour. You can see the lightning starting to pick up. And these guys rolling out of northeastern Oklahoma, a little bit more powerful. So we want to watch those as they continue to push in. Let's take a tour. Here's Nevada, strong cell back through parts of Bourbon County. And then as we track a little farther south, this is where you can see our severe thunderstorm warning with our tornado tag. And it's because of this intense guy that is rolling out of Labette County into Crawford and Cherokee. So we need to watch to see if we get any little spin-ups. But Pittsburgh, Girard, starting to get a little bit loud. Here's Joplin, Carthage, Neosho, back toward Miami. These storms are still to your west, but in the next 30 to 45 minutes, things will start to pick up in the metro. Let's go into northeastern Oklahoma. Here's Miami, down toward Veneta, our severe thunderstorms just to the west. And then again, at the bottom of your screen there, let me move that a little bit farther south. You can see our tornado that is moving through Claremore, Oklahoma, which is about 20 miles northeast of Tulsa. So we want to watch all of these as they continue to push into northeastern Oklahoma. Our severe threat's going to be sticking around for the next couple hours, and then things finally will start to calm down. More on that, we're going to toss it over to Chris Warner.
Yeah, just a quick update. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. The power is back up down there. Unfortunately, it's just in time ahead of these storms as they begin to roll through the area. So we need to, again, I've been saying it all morning, seriously, we're bus stop time. Okay, these storms can intensify very quickly. We could get brief spin-up tornadoes very quickly out of these. And so with that said, there may not be a ton of warning ahead of a possible spin-up tornado. And regrettably, the two that we've seen in northeastern Oklahoma, again, just outside of our area, have been confirmed on the ground. They were brief, but they were on the ground at least for some time. So that is something we've got to continue to watch. Let's take a look. We also have a wind advisory once again that is in effect for a good portion of the area. Again, ahead of this line of storms, we've had winds gusting 50, 55 miles an hour. Behind the line, we're still going to be looking at winds gusting upwards of 40 to 45 miles an hour. Now, once we reach noon, should be done. The last of the storms, you can see they're on their way out. And if you're already behind this line, your severe threat is already done for this morning. That's why we're starting to see those watches continue to drop off to the west out there at the tornado watches, the latest of which, again, goes through at least noon today. So that's why we're going to start to look a little better. Partly cloudy, again, as I mentioned, breezy. Temperatures low to mid-70s as we head into the afternoon. Overnight, clouds increase, winds decrease, and we'll have more showers and thunderstorms as we head into our Thursday across the area. A strong storm or two possible south of I-44, maybe some small hail, gusty winds. We're not looking at anything, again, like what we're seeing this morning out there. And we'll have additional showers and thunderstorms as we head into our Friday. So a brief break Thursday night into Friday, and then more showers and storms out there. So a little more meaningful rainfall here and there. We are going to again continue to monitor these storms as they track off to the east. Again, rolling through Pittsburgh, getting ready to roll into the Joplin metro area here soon. We'll have the latest on these storms when we come back, and we'll of course continue our coverage on Fox 14 starting at 7 a.m. We'll also talk about a Florida bill, if we get some time, that's aiming to expand on its writing in cursive requirements. That and more severe weather coverage. Fox 14, 7 a.m.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. KDOT conducted a series of meetings a little over a month ago to get public input on the future of Highway 69. Since those meetings, KDOT has kept the conversation going by accepting feedback on a web page through March 12th. KDOT plans to have another public engagement meeting in June to hear public input on final concepts. They also plan to have an open house meeting in the fall. Concerns of measles is close to home. The Cherokee County Health Department says the best way to combat this disease is to get vaccinated. Health officials recommend staying home if you feel sick and to wipe down all surfaces as the virus can stay live for about 2 hours. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
All right, guys, I want to keep you updated on our severe weather pushing through. Still tornado watch in effect. All southwest Missouri, Arkansas. Behind this line, you can see the watch is starting to chop off now. If the storms have already gone through your location, your severe threat has dropped. Severe thunderstorm warnings, Crawford, Cherokee, Jasper, into Barton County. And getting ahead of it, the National Weather Service is making these orange, meaning we have the potential as these storms push into southwestern Missouri to get those spin-up tornadoes. You can see those warnings extend into northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Look at this line continuing to push east. Plus, we're getting these little nubs on this line, and with those little nubs, that is the locations that we could see some spin-up tornadoes. Let's go down through Crawford County, moving into Barton, and also Jasper County. So we have that severe thunderstorm warning, and then all these extend back into northeastern Oklahoma. All right, Chris?
All right, again, once we get past these storms by about noon, we'll be in the clear. Still breezy behind this line, though. Wind advisories out there. Our highs today eventually low to mid-70s, and more shower and thunderstorm chances Thursday through about Sunday morning. So thankfully, no big severe threat, though, as we head down the road.
Okay, that's something we'll pay attention to.
Certainly so. Thanks for joining us this morning. Of course, we have continuing coverage on Fox 14 at 7 a.m. If anything pops up, we'll pop in here on KOAM, and we'll be back tomorrow at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.